It brings you out of your business as usual routine and start valuing every single relationship you have. And the lockdown is actually a great opportunity for people to reconnect and to rekindle, whatever relationship, friendship they used to have now that they're not so busy.
All right, welcome to And If Love Remains. My name is Mike Levitt. I'm your host, and I am just extremely thrilled to have on Jaqueline Pung from theother100.com. And I just want to say hello to Jaqueline and introduce yourself, Jaqueline.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on the show, Mike. My name is Jaqueline. I am recording here from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I'm from the Other 100 Project. So the Other 100 Project is a global nonprofit photojournalism project. Maybe Mike, would you like me to go straight into it, or would you like to talk a little bit more about, what would you like to talk about?
Well, I'd like, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved in this project, and what did you do before that?
Sure. So the Other 100 Project is a project by the Global Institute for Tomorrow. The Global Institute for Tomorrow, in short, we call ourselves GIFT, G-I-F-T. We are a Pan-Asian think tank. So we like to highlight ideas that are not normally highlighted in our mainstream media, and also talk a lot about, how do we challenge the status quo? Is there a better way to do things? So we have a foundation, GIFT Foundation, and we run the Other 100 project. This has been going on for since 2013. And how I got involved into this is because I'm a program manager at GIFT, and I am before this, I am a journalist, a broadcast journalist for the last 8 years. So I think that's how the team felt that, it would be a good fit for me to run this project.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful. What and this is, you guys have run this project for what, about 5 or 6 years now?
Since 2013, when we published our inaugural edition. So every 2 years we would publish a coffee table book with all the top 100 winning entries. So this year, instead of publishing a book, we decided to go digital so that we can highlight more entries as well.
Which is going to offer some more opportunities. I think hopefully you'll get a lot more people looking at it. Now, this is this year, I know your theme is healers, which I think is apropos for what we're all going through. Talk about the decision for the name and what your focus is on.
Sure. I think we have to start from the beginning. Why do we call this project the Other 100?
Yes,
so I think everyone's very familiar with the Forbes 100. It talks about the rich and famous, the top 100 highest paying celebrities in Hollywood. So when our founder looked at this list, he thinks about, what does all this 100 people have to do with the rest of us? What about the rest that has been, quietly contributing to society, or who are just as accomplished in their own right? What about the other 100? That's how the name came about. So he wanted to create a photography book that goes beyond the stereotype, that challenges what mainstream media puts out, how they turn other cultures into something very exotic. So rather than viewing everyone else through that kind of lens, we want to see everyone on an equal platform. Everyone has their accomplishment and their own rights. So that's how the idea of the Other 100 came about. In 2013, we had our inaugural edition, and then if I'm not mistaken, 2015, we rolled out the Other 100 Entrepreneurs. So rather than, when you talk about entrepreneurs, we always think about, people in finance, people who has public listed companies. So, or
The
bankers.
Steve Jobs of the world,
Correct.
these
Wall
big
Street.
names.
Correct. So what about the ordinary folks that's been serving their own community by providing good service, just doing honest
Which
job.
is so wonderful.
Correct. So that was the other 100 entrepreneurs, and then subsequently we rolled out the other 100 educators. So teachers, educators are not just school teachers. There are people who teach elderlies, who teach children, who teach the disabled, who are imparting knowledge to their targeted groups in their own rights. There are educators as well, and different culture has a different, how do I put this? Sorry. Different culture has a different way of viewing educators as well.
Right.
So putting that into images is very attractive, and it gets people curious about cultures other than their own. So that's
Absolutely.
correct. Yeah. So that is the other 100 entrepreneurs. So what got us to this edition, the other 100 healers, is of course this pandemic that we're going through collectively as a human race. So we see a lot of images and reports on mainstream media about how doctors and nurses are, in the front line saving lives. Those are definitely important. But what about the rest? What is everyone else trying to do to contribute to their communities? So that is,
Right.
and we've gotten a lot of interesting entries from all over the world. So right now we have about close to 100 countries that have
Great.
images submitted to us.
But we need a lot more. You guys need a lot more, right? And that so let me back up and maybe summarize a little bit. So just so make sure I have a clear picture. So basically, the idea is your organization wants to celebrate people who maybe won't be celebrated in the mainstream press, that won't get the airtime, that won't get the awards, but are doing just wonderful work out there in the world. And you're celebrating them by finding people who are willing to share their stories through photographs, and then publishing those photographs so we can all see or be inspired by all the great work that these, quote unquote, normal people, these extraordinary, ordinary people are doing. Am I summarizing that okay?
Correct. So rather than hello?
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Okay, sorry. So can you repeat the question again?
Oh, no. I just wanted to make sure that I summarized that. What your project is all about, that you're finding stories out in the communities of the world that maybe won't be found on mainstream media, and celebrating those stories through photographic stories and publishing those for other people to find and be inspired by.
Correct. I think inspired is a good word to use here. If you look at our daily lives, we read news from our local media or a little bit from the international agencies. There are more than 150 countries all over the world. And
right.
You don't hear about all of them every day. So we created this project to get people curious about other cultures, other countries. And it's also a way to forge that kind of friendship, that kind of to break stereotypes about other cultures, in a way to bring everyone back, to the idea that we are one human race.
Right. That's so important. And I think right now, and I really, really love your title for this edition being healers, because right now that's exactly what we need are not just big name healers or people that are, well known, but we need everybody to look after their neighbors, to look after themselves, to look after their families. This is such a unique time where, while we're simultaneously kind of being attacked by this virus, it provides an opportunity for us to reach out and care about those that matter the most to us.
Correct. And if you think about healers, there is so much more than just people in the medical field. What about who we deem essential workers are? The delivery workers, truck drivers, cleaners, the waste collectors, people who provide food, even teachers who continues to deliver education. Even kids are not allowed to go to school. Alternative healers, community heads, village chiefs, therapists. All these are people who keep the society, moving.
Oh, absolutely. And even, I think about this a lot, and I think this is another thing that has kind of been put under a microscope is especially mental health. I think that one of the biggest fears and one of the biggest problems that we have, especially among the elderly, is the idea of being lonely, of being alone and not having their loved ones around them and not being able to have that companionship. And I think that's one of I think if you put out a survey to the world, I think that the greatest fear people would have is to be alone and to be forgotten. And I think it's vital that we can all be healers, even in the sense that we could reach out and touch someone, and we can be, to borrow a phrase from AT&T, that we can, that we can go out and be that healer. And even if we have no medical knowledge, or even if we have no psychological knowledge or anything like that, if we just can reach out and be a friend and be that person that they can trust, that's a huge thing.
I think you highlighted something really important here, because the arts and culture sector really, really step up at times like this. We hear about how entertainers, performers, MCs, DJs are losing jobs because, events are getting canceled. But instead of viewing this as a loss of livelihood, a lot of them, we've gotten a lot of stories about how they have stepped up to provide their services for free to keep people entertained, to help, make people not feel isolated, especially elderlies. Children as well, if their parents are out, in the medical field, they're working under quarantine, they don't get to see their parents. So who is there to take care of their kids?
Right.
So absolutely. We have stories. We even have the story about 4 young men in Palestine dressing up as clowns. They used to run. They run a entertainment companies to do clown shows for kids' birthday party. But at times like this, there's no birthday parties. So
right.
They dressed up as clowns. They went around the little alleyway to visit children, just at their doorstep, providing them a little bit of entertainment to them, a show, a little magic trick, they're blowing bubbles. So
right.
That's a really cute story. At the same time, it's okay, it's not all that morbid.
Yeah.
Compared to mainstream, what we see in the mainstream media. Yes, the pandemic is very serious, but is there a positive side to it that we can learn from?
Well, and I think we're also understanding that there's more to life than just the physical body. There's more than you've heard the saying that you've got your health. What else do you need? Well, there's a lot that we need. We need love. We need a dream. We need something to look forward to. And, that's one thing that worries me is that the shutdowns that we've seen across the world, the cure may be more harmful than the disease, in the sense that if people are getting depressed, suicide is up, and we need to help. This is why I think the arts are so important. As a musician, I'm going to say that, right? I think we all have to have something that to look for? Like what is worth living? Well, there's love, there's God, there's family, and there's got to be some passion, something that's greater than ourselves that we can look to.
Definitely. And it brings you out of your business as usual routine and start
Yes.
valuing every single relationship you have. And the lockdown is actually a great opportunity for people to reconnect and to rekindle, whatever relationship, friendship they used to have now that they're not so busy.
Right. You shared a few of these pictures with me, and I just found them just wonderful. There's one photograph of I'm not sure which country. I believe it was in Africa, of some children that had a radio station. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. That story is actually from Mali.
Okay,
So,
Molly.
if not mistaken, the UN trained a couple of them, of children, to be journalists so that they can run little broadcasting segments to teach people about coronavirus. How do you prevent it? What kind of safety precaution you need to take? And just to make sure that people don't fall into a trap of believing superstition, or hearsay. So it's just spreading accurate information about the disease.
So again, this is Mike Levitt with And If Love Remains. I'm talking to Jaqueline Peng. We're talking about the Other 100 Project. Jaqueline, how can people find this?
So you can go to www.theother100.com, and you will find all the information you need to participate there. You can even see some of the examples, the great entries we've gotten so far. We've also just put up an Asia page that highlights all the good entries that we've gotten from the region. We have Malaysia, Macau, Bangladesh, India, Nepal. So all these countries, you might not see them very often in mainstream media, but this is just a little window to get you curious about what other people are doing. How can they help? And I might say that it's very creative.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. And from what I've seen, it's really amazing. Not just the things that people are doing, but the photographs and how they're shot, and it's really beautiful. Tell me, so you're in one way, one reason you're on this podcast is you're kind of putting a call out to those photographers, both professional and amateur, that you need more pictures. Is that right?
Correct. We actually don't have all the countries covered. So if you have friends that are living there, or someone who's a photographer that's traveling and has all these pictures, submit an entry to us, and we love to hear what kind of what's the story behind them.
Oh, wonderful. So all of you that find a great story and can snap a photo of it, send your submission to theother100.com. That's all spelled out. TheotherHundred. I think I did that right. .com. Theother100.com. And you can submit your photograph for this project. And I'd love to see a few of our listeners, maybe get in this. It'd be wonderful. Let us know. I think that, oh wow! I just had a little brain freeze. But so this will be shown on the website, right? So there's not going to be a desktop edition as you normally would do, but there will be an online edition for people to check out. What else will people, if somebody's looking at these photographs, what else will they find? What other information will they find?
So apart from the stories and the photographs, we also do a little bit of research to give our audience a bit more of the quirky facts, interesting things about the country itself, to get people curious and wanting to learn more about the particular countries. And this one will also serve as an open source for policymakers, for NGOs in the future, to prepare and to find, creative ways of solving problems in their communities. Because sometimes, inspiration comes from the most unlikely places. So we hope we are that source in the future.
Well, I think it's such a unique opportunity for people to notice what's around them, find these stories, and then at the same, so you're kind of looking around yourself, but at the same time, you're also reaching out and seeing what's happening out in the world. And like you mentioned, like we've talked about, it's really a source of inspiration. Do you have any other stories or any other anything else you'd like to share with us?
I think you brought up the fact that we have to look around ourselves to find all these stories is that because of the travel ban, the movement restriction that's pretty common around the world right now, photographers are not allowed to travel much.
Right.
And I think this is an opportunity for everyone to really look into their own communities to discover stories rather than looking outside. We have a photography lecturer that turned this project into an assignment for their students, and it sort of got the young people engaged more with their communities to find stories. And from there, it sparked many other initiatives that young people feel inspired to take the project further than what it intends to be.
Oh, that's great because there's a lot of opportunities. Yeah, and I have to bring this one up because I saw a picture of being a musician again. I saw a picture of a band, and I don't remember what country. I think it was in Eastern
Turkey.
Europe. I forget. It was in Turkey.
It's from Serbia. So
Serbia. That's
correct.
right.
So these guys are Balkan musicians. They're in the folk scene, Balkan folk scene. So their tour got canceled, I believe, and so instead of going, where we can't make money or where we lost our income, they decided to do something called the concert for neighbors right on their balcony. So everyone, their neighbors around the area, everyone's out on their balcony holding a bottle of beer, just enjoying the music from a distance. So it is a concert in a way, but
for sure,
pandemic style.
And that reminded me of I think we spoke off air about this story. There was a American football player here. I think he played for Arizona State University. He was a punter, and but he went to the NFL and he played, and then he retired. And then this pandemic happened, and what nobody knew is this guy was an opera singer, and so he would every morning he started sitting out on his balcony and singing these opera arias that everybody just really enjoyed and loved, and he started videotaping it and putting it up on YouTube. It kind of went viral a little bit because everyone was so shocked that this guy could sing like that. There's this big football player, and it's making lemonade out of lemons. It's the idea that we, no matter what we're doing, we can find a way to serve. We can find a way to tell a story and inspire and be a light to those around us.
Yeah, definitely. And it's now that everyone's stuck at home, you have more time to practice your hobbies.
Right? Ain't that the truth? Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, so if people want to either submit or if they want to make a donation, go to the website, contact Jaqueline. And I know they would love to get tons of pictures from the United States and see what amazing stories we have here, and see how we can participate in this worldwide effort to heal our world.
Correct. And although this is a nonprofit initiative, but we, as a token of appreciation, the top 100 entries will get a $100 cash prize. And on top of that, we also have a public voting round coming up mid next month, where you just need to submit your entry, let us process it, and you can share it on your social media and get some votes. So the top 5 highest top 5 entries that has the highest votes will also walk away with $100 cash prize.
Oh, that's great. And again, tell what are the deadlines that we're looking at for this?
So to join the public voting round, you have to submit your entry by 11th August.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the public voting round will start on August 14th.
Okay, so we're a little more than 2 weeks away. We've got to get those pictures in, get the submissions in.
That's right.
Call to all photographers or storytellers that have a smartphone.
Yeah, definitely. You can. It's so easy to create images these days. Even with a good quality camera phone, you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and Jaqueline, I know that your audience are mostly from or interested in the art scene.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so if you know your colleagues, your friends who are doing their part, even though it's just a little performance, it's a little activity to get people engaged, doing online classes for someone for free. These are all contributions as an artist to society, even though maybe they're not making money out of it. So
absolutely.
And these are stories that they can capture. Don't limit yourself into thinking that healers, they must be frontline medical staff. They can be anyone who is playing their part to contribute.
Yeah. No, I think it's everyone can be a healer in their own way, and one of the ways to heal is to tell the truth, and the art, I think, is the most pure form of telling that truth. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope. Before I let you go, is there anything else you want to share? Anything else that I'm forgetting that we need to talk about? Because I really want to promote this project. I think it's an important project for people.
No, I think you've covered everything. So let the photos speak for themselves. Just come onto our website, theother100.com, to learn more. And you can definitely reach out to me via email. My email is listed there as well. So yeah, send us an entry.
That would be fantastic. I can't thank you enough. And can we get you on again as the voting's going through and as we get closer to getting this thing finalized? Would that be all right?
Definitely. I think when we close the open call, we would have a lot more stories to share.
Oh, I would love to hear those stories. I cannot wait. This is Jaqueline Pung. My name is Mike Levitt with And If Love Remains. Jaqueline is with theother100.com, The Other 100 Project. You can find information at theother100.com. You can find information about this podcast, And If Love Remains, at www.andifloveremains.com. We have a merch site. We have, please leave a comment, share this episode, share it with your friends and photographing neighbors, because I think a lot of people don't know about what this is all about, and I'm excited to share it and move it on. So thank you again, Jaqueline. We'll have you on very soon.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me, Mike.
Take care.
Take care.